Recently, I had reviewed the LegoMarioBros video, Zombie Apocalypse. To put it shortly, I didn't like it. It was very unfocused on what it wanted to do, and it felt like complete filler. But I felt like I could have gone more in depth with how I felt with it, as I missed a few parts. As there were some parts of the video that I didn't like that I could have been more clear with. Specifically, scenes towards the beginning and middle of the video. Let me start off by saying the actual one positive I have with this video. The plot of the video gets started fairly quickly and doesn't meander around for like 3 or 4 minutes, like most plush videos I've seen do. I guess the pacing for the beginning scene isn't the worst I've ever seen, but it's not really good. This will really make a difference with the review's overall final rank, but it's something worth mentioning. Now let's move on to some of the other problems with this video. First, let's start with the characters. They are all the same. And they all don't sound like plush characters, they sound like robots. But to be fair, this is a consistent problem with this channel. Half the time they just sound like robots, and they're all assholes. And like I said in the video, that's terrible, because you were supposed to root for these characters. The most egregious offenders of this are Morton's Tantrum and Morton's Pet. Like I said in my original review, I can't like these characters because they don't do anything to make me like them. In fact, they do stuff that makes me not like them. Like Iga just leaving for no reason when he caused the zombie outbreak. Or Mario and Luigi just randomly punching Toad for no apparent reason. So by default, these characters are just bland and forgettable. Also, speaking of characters, can we talk about this one joke with Cranky Kong?
I'm just an old person, you know? I just like to be old. I don't want to be in the Nazi war.
I know I didn't discuss about this joke a lot, except for like a random subtext while editing the video, but it really bothers me that he says that. Let's get the obvious out of the way with this joke. It's not funny. I don't really think anyone would find a Holocaust joke funny. That's because jokes about war, and especially the Holocaust, are very hard to make funny. If you want to at least attempt at making this joke funny, then give a subtle jab at it. Like when it's Cranky Kong's turn to say no, have him just shudder and say, I don't want to be caught in that again. Then it would be like if you get the joke, it's somewhat dark, but if you don't, you won't even know there was a joke there. Instead of just stating the war. One other thing that's worth mentioning is that after a short time after Iga leaves, he comes back to bring in 2 dead bodies that he found that were infected by the zombies. And this raises the question, how did he not get affected? Like, is the virus contagious or anything? Like, this is one of the major things that breaks stories in plush videos. Stuff that the audience needs to know and probably wants to know, never explained. Also, let's talk about the fight scene again. Usually when punching sound effects or whatever are not mixed, it usually amounts to glitches. And usually it's not too noticeable. Here, it is very noticeable, as the gun sound effects play seconds after Yoshi and Luigi move to fire their guns. And it doesn't look like the gun is exploding, so it doesn't look realistic. And the zombie in one scene falls back way too fast when they are shot with the gun. Look at this. Look at that. It would usually take a person a couple seconds to get to the ground when they were shot by something. When they fall. Here he falls immediately, which is unrealistic and just stilted. That's really what this whole entire fight scene is, just really unrealistic and stilted. And that's really all I had to say. There's really nothing else to talk about with this video that I didn't address in my other review. But let me just make this clear. I know I gave this a terrible rank, but it'd probably be like low-level terrible. Like a 1.7 out of 10 if I added points in here. Like, I'd certainly prefer watching Zombie Apocalypse over Stuck in the Closet, the April Fool's Day special, and definitely over Morton's Pet. I'm not even sure if this would make a top 10 worst list. Because when you really get down to it, there's not too much to hate. And that's really all I have to say on the matter. See you in the next review, I guess.